House prices rose by 0.6% in January, according to the Halifax House Price Survey. Surveys such as these provide a view on the state of the UK housing market, but with nationwide zone figures reporting a rise of 1.2% in the same period, are they really a reliable gauge? And what should the consumer be looking for? We asked the Chief Executive of the National Association of Estate Agents, Peter Bolton-King, for his view. The Halifax House Price Survey showed a small increase in house prices for January. What does the National Association of Estate Agents think to the survey results?
Yes, I don't think anybody should get too excited about just 1 month's figures, and quite honestly, when you're talking about such low percentages, you have to in effect say it's remained flat. Now, that wouldn't surprise me at all, because obviously January figures relate to work that's been carried out, sort of sales that were agreed sort of a tail end of last year and that sort of thing. You're going to get a quieter period during the Christmas running into the new year. It's a question of what happens from now, of course.
There are many surveys produced, but how relevant are they to the consumer? And how does this compare to the National Association of Estate Agents figures?
It must be very confusing, quite honestly, but you've got loads of different types of surveys that come out every month. And if you actually think about it, the problem is that they're actually not comparing like for like. The government's figures and the land registry figures are historical data. Those are sales that possibly were agreed 6 months ago. So fine, they're absolutely accurate, but are they relevant to what's happening today? I would say no, if you're trying to decide what's actually going on in the market. You've then got the like of the Halifax and the Nationwide and their figures. Now, what they're doing, obviously, is basing their statistics on the number of inquiries, number of mortgages they are doing. So again, it's a little bit historic because it means that people have already agreed to buy the property. So that deal would have been done perhaps some weeks or even a month or so ago. So then you look at the sort of figures that we produce, the NEA and ALA, and of course, those are what our members are saying is happening out there right now. So I would say that our own figures are a much better reflection on what is actually going on at any given point of time. But I think you take them all with a pinch of salt. You probably take an average of everything and you just listen to the trends. And the trends are saying that they generally feel that prices are going to be fairly static this year, but you're going to get little growth patterns up and down. And of course, one always has to remember there's no such thing as one market in this country. There are lots of micro markets in regions, in towns, even within villages.
Should the consumer really be looking at these figures when considering a property purchase?
Another great question. I think the answer to that is look at them, take them as a guide as to what has happened and what is possibly likely to happen. But remember, at the end of the day, you've got to find out what is happening locally. And the other thing to remember is that you're buying a home. It's very, very difficult at the end of the day to say how much that is finally worth to you. It's not just bricks and mortar. And a lot of people are now regarding property much more as a home than investment compared with a few years ago. So the best advice I've got, do your research, do your legwork, get out there, go in and talk to an NAEA or an ALA member if you're renting, and ask them. And remember that even one side of the road can be worth more than the other.